A Tale of Two Boys and a Kitten by Enid Blyton. Geoffrey was in bed with a bad cold. He coughed and he sneezed, and he felt very sorry for himself indeed. "You'll soon feel better," said his mother. "You feel horrid today, but tomorrow you will want to sit up and eat jelly and drink orange squash and play with your soldiers." Mother was right, of course. Next day, Geoffrey did feel better. In fact, he wanted to get up. "No," said Mother, "not yet. Look, here is a walking stick beside your bed. When you want anything, bang on the floor with it, and I shall hear. There isn't a bell you can use." Geoffrey didn't want to bang more often than he could help because he knew that his mother was very busy. He tried to think of all the things he wanted so that Mother could bring them all at the same time and not have to bother with him after that. "My soldiers, please," he said, "and my drawing book, Mother, and my pencil and rubber. And could I have Paddy Paws too?" Paddy Paws, as you can guess, was the kitten. She was about 6 months old and as merry and bright as could be. She loved Geoffrey. He never teased her or pulled her tail as the next door boy did when he came to play. "Yes, you can have Paddy Paws," said Mother. "She misses you very much. I'll bring her with all the other things you want." So very soon the kitten was prancing about Geoffrey's bed, playing with the soldiers, knocking them over as soon as he stood them up. "We're playing enemies," Geoffrey told her. "I have to stand them up to fight, and you have to knock them down." Paddy Paws easily won that game. Then quite suddenly Geoffrey felt sick. He looked for the stick to knock on the floor. It had fallen down. Oh dear, if he leaned out of bed to get it, he would certainly be sick. He lay down flat, hoping it would pass off. Paddy Paws crept up to him. She knew he was feeling horrid. He looked at her, and a thought came into his head. Couldn't she fetch his mother for him? He took his pencil and scribbled a note on a bit of drawing paper. He found a piece of string round a parcel on his bedside table, made a hole in the paper, and ran the string through it. Then he tied the note round the kitten's neck. "Go quickly and take it to Mother," he said to Paddy Paws. "Fetch Mother." He pushed the kitten off the bed, and she leaped to the floor. She turned and looked at him. What was it Geoffrey wanted her to do? What was this thing round her neck? Then she turned and padded out of the room. Down the stairs she went and into the kitchen. Mother was there baking cakes. Paddy Paws ran up to her mewing. Mother looked down and saw the note tied round her neck at once. She slipped it off. "Mother, I feel sick," said the note. Mother got a basin and ran upstairs at top speed. Geoffrey soon felt better again. He leaned back on his pillow. "You came just in time," he said. "I was so afraid I'd make a mess that you'd have to clear up. Mother, did Paddy Paws bring the note?" "Yes, the clever little thing," said Mother. "See if she will bring a note another time if you want anything." Well, Geoffrey sat up again in a little while and picked up his drawing book to try and draw the kitten. She sat looking at him as pretty as a picture. Snap! That was Geoffrey's pencil point breaking. Bother! Now he wouldn't be able to draw. He suddenly looked at Paddy Paws and smiled. "Paddy, come here. I want you to take another note," he said. He managed to write another note with his pencil and tied the piece of paper onto the kitten's neck again and pushed her off the bed. "Go to Mother," he said. "Good little kitten, go to Mother." Again Paddy Paws sped downstairs and ran to find Mother. Mother read the note quickly. "My pencil is broken. Please can I have my pencil sharpener?" Mother stroked the kitten and gave her a little bit of fish for a reward. "Clever little kitten. Now you take this pencil sharpener back to Geoffrey." She tied the little sharpener round Paddy's neck. "Go to Jeff," she said. "You go and find Jeff." And away went the kitten up the stairs and into the bedroom. She jumped up on the bed, and Geoffrey found the pencil sharpener tied round her neck. He fondled the kitten and praised her for her cleverness. "Cleverest kitten in the world. Very, very cleverest. Have a bit of my biscuit." Well, Paddy Paws thought this was a lovely kind of game, trotting up and down with something round her neck and getting a tidbit each time. Long before Geoffrey was up and about again, she was the best little messenger you could imagine. Geoffrey was very proud of her indeed. Now, Some time after this, when Geoffrey had quite forgotten all about being in bed with a cold, the boy next door caught Paddy paws and wouldn't let her go. She wriggled and mewed, but he held her tight. I'm going to teach you how to swim, he said, and took her to the pond in his garden. Paddy paws didn't like water at all. She mewed loudly, and Geoffrey heard her. He was up on the wall in a second. Hey, what are you doing to my kitten, Tom? You stop that. You'll drown her if you try to make her swim. Splash! The kitten was in the water, terribly frightened. Geoffrey leaped down from the wall. He ran straight at Tom, and Tom went into the water too. Geoffrey snatched up the kitten and fled to the wall. But before he could climb over it, Tom was out of the pond and after him, full of rage and fury. I'll teach you to knock me into the pond. I'll fight you. I'll knock you down a dozen times. How dare you knock me into the pond? I'll throw your kitten in again too. Geoffrey knew he wouldn't get over the wall in time, so he raced down Tom's garden, hoping to get out of the gate at the bottom. But Tom could run very fast indeed, and he overtook Geoffrey at once. The boy swerved and ran towards a little shed nearby. Tom was almost on him. Geoffrey ran into the shed and slammed the door. You open the door and see how hard I'll hit you, he called to Tom. But Tom didn't open the door. He locked it. Geoffrey heard Tom's mocking laugh. You are a prisoner. And here you will stay till you come out and kneel down to me and beg my pardon. Then you'll get a box on your ears and the kitten will get its tail pulled too. Geoffrey yelled back at once. You can wait for a year and I won't do that. Let me out. Shand, cried Tom. The window is too tiny for you to squeeze through and the door's locked. Stay there till night if you want to. Geoffrey heard his footsteps going back up the path. He went to the door and shook it. It was well and truly locked. Blow. He looked at the tiny window. He opened it, but he knew he would never be able to squeeze through that. Blow, Tom. He's a beast, thought Geoffrey, stroking the frightened, wet kitten. He got out a hanky and began to dry the little thing. Then a sudden thought struck him. He had to go out with his mother that afternoon to see his grandmother, who was ill. They were to catch the 3:30 train. Whatever would she do if he wasn't there to go with her? She would think something dreadful had happened to him. Then she wouldn't catch the train, and Granny would worry about their not coming to see her. Blow, Tom, he said again. I simply must get out of this shed. Hey, Tom, Tom, Tom! He rattled the door again, and soon Tom came up. Ready to kneel down and apologize and have your ears boxed? Said Tom from outside the door. Tom, don't be an ass. I'm catching a train with my mother this afternoon to go and see my grandmother who is ill, said Geoffrey. I must go. Not unless you do what I say, said Tom. Well, call again if you change your mind. And off he went once more, whistling. Geoffrey felt so angry that he nearly broke the door down. But it was strong and he couldn't budge it an inch. He sat down on a box, panting. Paddy Paws looked at him with big kitten eyes. She wished she could help. And then Geoffrey gave a little whistle and smiled. Paddy Paws, you can get us out of this. Do you remember your trick of taking messages? Well, take one now. He scribbled a note in a page of his book, tore it out, slipped a bit of string through one end, and tied the note round the kitten's neck. Then he lifted her up to the window. Go to Mother, he said. Find Mother for me. Hurry, little kitten. Paddy disappeared out of the window. She ran cautiously up the path, made for the wall, and leaped on the top. She jumped down the other side and sped up to the house. Geoffrey's mother was in a bedroom getting ready to go. Downstairs in the sitting room was Geoffrey's father. He had come home unexpectedly, thinking that he too would like to go and see his mother. The kitten saw him and ran to him. She jumped up on his knee. He saw the note tied round her neck and took it off in surprise. He read it. Mother, Tom has locked me in the shed at the bottom of this garden. He put Paddy into the pond. That's why I went into his garden. I can't get out. Jeff. That boy, said Geoffrey's father angrily. He had no time for Tom, a rude, ill-mannered boy full of silly tricks. Putting a kitten into the pond and then locking Geoffrey up for rescuing it, he wanted dealing with. He went next door. Tom's father was there, and the two men had a few words together. Geoffrey's father told him curtly that Tom had locked Geoffrey in his shed and he wanted him out quickly. Oh, it's just a joke, I expect, said Tom's father. I'll come down the garden with you. So down they went, and as they got near the shed, they heard the two boys shouting at one another. Are you going to come out and kneel down to me and apologize and get your ears boxed? And I tell you, I'm going to take that silly kitten and throw her over the wall. You're a cowardly bully, shouted back Geoffrey. You might have drowned my kitten, putting her in the pond like that. I bet your father would be angry if he knew the things you do. Pooh! What do I care for Dad? Shouted back Tom. I do as I like. He thinks I'm the cat's whiskers. I don't take any notice of my dad. Well, his father could hardly believe his ears. As for Geoffrey's father, he smiled grimly. Perhaps Tom's father would now see that his boy wasn't all he thought him to be. The two men came up to the startled Tom. He was about to make a hurried explanation when his own father cut him short. Let Geoffrey out. How dare you do a thing like this? And I've got plenty to say to you about putting kittens into ponds. My word, I never thought to hear what I've just heard you say about me. So you don't take any notice of your dad, you say? Well, my boy, you're going to take so much notice of me that it will be a full-time job for you. Tom unlocked the door, beginning to shake at the knees. His father was usually easygoing, but when he got into one of his tremendous rages, all kinds of unpleasant things happened. Geoffrey appeared from the shed. Where's the kitten? Asked Tom's father. She went out of the window, said Geoffrey. He turned to his own father. Thanks, Dad, for coming to get me out, he said. Without another word, he and his father went back home. Tom was left with his own father, looking very scared indeed. His father took him by the ear. It hurt. Now just come along with me and hear what is going to happen to you, he said grimly. So you do as you like, do you? Well, that's all coming to an end now. Come into the house, Tom. Geoffrey was glad he wasn't Tom that afternoon. He made a fuss of the kitten and gave her some creamy milk as a reward for taking the note. Then he hurriedly put on clean clothes and went to catch a train with his mother. Goodbye, cleverest kitten, he said to Paddy Paws. I don't somehow think we shall ever have to be careful of Tom again. Poor Tom, he's very careful how he behaves now, and dear me, how he respects his father. That's just as it should be, of course. But what puzzles Tom is this. How did Geoffrey's father know that Geoffrey was locked up in that shed? Nobody has ever told Tom the answer, and I'm certainly not going to. Good old Paddy Paws. She's a cat now, but she's still just as clever as ever she was. She will take a message for you any day.